Babri Masjid, a victim of injustice. When a lawbreaker became a lawmaker, injustice prevails. It's a great injustice committed by the people as a whole. See, to understand the injustice meted out to the minorities in India, it is better we should analyze the background of the injustice that prevailed since 16th century. See, Goswami Tulsidas, who took birth after 4 years of building of Babri Masjid. He lived up to 1623. In the year 1574 to 76, he wrote Ramacharitra Manas, which is about 12,800 verses. He has also brought out 12 such works. It is very significant to note that Tulsidasa never mentioned existence of temple, demolition of temple and building of a masjid. He was the greatest Ram Bhakta and brought out several writings. If really such incident took place as claimed by the fascists now, he would have definitely brought it on record. The very fact that over a period of 91 years during his life, right, never he protested, never he brought it on record. So this was the background. Thereafter, during British rule, one Raghubir Das, he approached the court in Faisalabad. He wanted to put up a canopy near Babri Masjid. Lower court dismissed his claim. He took it to the higher court, wherein his claim was dismissed. So now it is to be noted that the claim of these people were settled and reached its finality after recording evidence. It was held that no such temple existed on the site wherein Babri Masjid was in existence. Thereafter, they kept quiet. In the year 1949, K.K. Nayar was a district collector, a Malayalam speaking person from Alipi district of Kerala. He illegally placed certain Ramlala idol in the central dome of Babri Masjid. He was punished for his illegal acts. He was punished for his dereliction of duty, but he was bestowed with MP seat by Janasangh, and he was an MP in Uttar Pradesh. That was his background. He was rewarded. See, the fascist never believes in legal process. Disbelief in legal process, belief in violence. When the matters were seized by the courts, they resorted to violence. They vandalized, they ransacked, they demolished the structure on December 6th, 1992. And we have seen that on TVs. It was recorded. Mr. Advani, Uma Bharati, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi, and other leaders, they led a mob drawn from RSS, VHP, BJP, armed with various weapons, shamelessly they ransacked it, vandalized it. That time, BJP was in favor at Uttar Pradesh. Of course, Congress was in favor at the center. Then what happened, we know. How many minority homes, individuals, business centers, hospitals, schools were ransacked in the name of Rath Yatra and all. That is there. See, 1911, 2019, 5 bench of the Supreme Court led by the then Chief Justice, Justice Gogoi. They have given a verdict giving 2.77 acres of land to build a Ram temple. Later on, he was rewarded with a Rajya Sabha MP seat. This indicates the connectivity of the judgment. Then comes on 30th September 2020, CBI court, Judge Surendra Kumar Yadav acquitted all the 32 accused in the Babri Masjid demolition case. Immediately thereafter, he was rewarded with a Upalokayukta post in Uttar Pradesh. This also leads to a connectivity between the judgment and the subsequent postings. So now, the point that arises for consideration is, number one, whether we have neutral courts that administer rule of law. That's one question. The second question, whether judiciary has dug its reputation into a even deeper hole. Now the answer is the judgment of a Supreme Court and CBI court are not based on evidence and sound legal principles. The judgment also indicates that the courts had actually placed a premium on the mass demolition. And indeed, the courts chosen the Hindu faith over Islamic faith. Thus caused greatest injustice to the democratic secular fabric of our society. The injustice remains the acts of fascists in the history. Mussolini, 1922. He has destroyed various religious places in Italy. 1938, fascist Hitler demolished Jewish temples, their homes, schools, hospitals. He attacked their life. So also the dictator Francisco Franco of Spain. See, who was the dictator? 1939 to 1975. He also touched various religious places. So also Suharto, Marcos, Idi Amin, and other dictators. So now what remains us is Hindutva. See, in the 16th century to the end of 18th century, no Hindu religion. There was Vaishnava, Shaiva, and other religions. Definitely no Hindu religion. See, Hindutva is a word coined by Savarkar in the year 1923. The Hindutva is the reproduction of 25-point program that was written by Hitler in the year 1920. Hitler copied the book titled by Balagangadhara Tilak in the year 1903. He titled it as Archaic Home of Vedic religion. He referred to North Pole. See, he has culled out material taken from Manu Smriti that was scripted 200 BC. These are all the connectivity. Therefore, Hindu is different, Hindutva is different. Babri Masjid was demolished not by Hindus, it was Hindutva-vadis. We should understand difference between Hindus and Hindutva-vadis. Hindu is a belief. Hindu is a worship. Hindu is some pujas and punaskaras. Hindutva is politics. Hindutva is hate, hatred, violence, crime, loot. The scheme structure of Hindutva. Hindutva means Brahmanavada. It was the Brahmanavada in the cover of Hindutvavada. They have planned. They have planned to attack, ransack, vandalize, devastate Babri Masjid on 6th of December 1992. There were 2 incidents in that year happened in our country. Number 1, secular fabric of the nation was shaken. Rights of minorities were made a dent. That is one side. Babri Masjid was demolished. The same year, God agreement was signed by the rulers, allowing foreign corporates to have free access to our nation. So these are all the combination. Therefore, the Indian fascism, Hindutva, Saffranism, they married the corporates. So from 1992 onwards, there was a rise of Brahmana, Baniya, Hindutva, corporate, militaristic, state. That is what is ruling now. Followed by Babri Masjid incident in the year 1992, exactly after 10 years. Attack on Muslims in Ahmedabad when the present Prime Minister was Chief Minister. How they attacked, these are all brought on record by then DIG Sri Kumar. So that is the background. Now, in this background, what happened in Kashmir? The entire state of Kashmir, 70 million people of Kashmir, they have no access to internet. They are just imprisoned there. CAA, NRC, NPR. It is an attack not only on minority, it is an attack on Adivasis, Dalits, and other backward classes. There is a continuous attack on Adivasis, Dalits, working class, minorities, Muslims, Christians throughout India. Attack on workers, their right to wages, social right, and their job right are taken away by introducing 4 codes. Now attack on farmers. Now attack on the Adivasis. Therefore, every section of the society is under attack. Therefore, at this juncture, I would like to invite the attention of the listeners of this webinar to understand that the present regime, as I've already put it, Brahmana, Baniya, corporate, militaristic, fascist regime, ruling dispensation, attacks every section of the society. Therefore, The minorities are not isolated. The backward class, Dalits, Adivasis, working class of this country, including the farmers, we are with you. We will protect our constitution. We will protect our institutions. We will protect our country. Now, the dispensation which never participated during independence movement are taken upper hand. Fascism never succeeds. Fascism was defeated everywhere in the world. Fascism in India will also be defeated. Let us be united to protect our constitution, constitutional rights. A great injustice is done to the minorities in India by demolishing Babri Masjid. This should be a national debate. This should be a national debate. Everyone should speak about this. And it is a great injustice done by our parliament, our courts, our state, our entire system. It amounts to a system collapse. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.